Welcome back to Krawler Kingdom. Today's video, I'm going to do a comparison. So my new CJ7 that I got, it doesn't have the air down stuff that I have on my JKU. And so I went and decided to purchase one thing that I kind of didn't know about until I saw a reel, but it's a product, at least a company that I am familiar with. And so while I show that to you, I also wanted to kind of compare other air down different methods. So that way anybody looking, it's a common question. One of the first things that I had to learn when I started wheeling was how to air down and why and how to air back up. And so it was kind of complex at first on how to use some of the tools and then giving you a comparison on how long it takes to do some of the airing down. The first thing I had to do when I was deciding to air down was pick a method. And the ones that the guys I was wheeling with used this kind of air down tool, which is a chuck style, which screws onto the valve stem, and then you unscrew the actual stem out of it. Dude, it's winter out here, so yes, my skin's dry. It's a bunch of guys watching, so what do we care, right? Anyways, so to unscrew the core here, pull that out so the air can just come out quicker without having to go past this. This was the first style that I had gotten into to go ahead and get myself going. The second style that I chose to go with, where did I put it? So down here, here we go, is this style. Now I had a Terraflex version of this, and this is the kind that's in the CJ right now, but they screw on. And the reason why I switched to this was, while this is fine, I didn't like having to bend over and do all the different deals with this. I'd rather had something that I could just screw on, and these come apart. For those of you who haven't seen them, they just come off, and they're in sets of 4, and you'd screw them onto your stem here, and it would let it out, and then when you're done, you unscrew this, and everything's good. Don't have to deal with the stem, don't have to feel that stress. Well, the third type that I chose to go with for airing down were these. They're the automatic deflators, and this is the brand that I went with. They worked great. A lot of people knock them. You set them, you use them on it, and you'll see I have them marked so I know if these ever came loose. I have these set to 15 PSI, which isn't necessarily like, I wheel at 10 now, right? So screw these on, pull on this little chuck, and then as soon as it's down to its set PSI, this will go back in. You unscrew these, you're good. So these are really convenient as well. People are concerned with how accurate are they and what have you. So before I start this test, I'm gonna reset up these to 10 just because why not, right? So that was the other way. Now these wheels, which I have, which are for KMC, they come with 2 stems. This is an Apex air down, which all you do is you unscrew the cap that's on there, pull on it, and it lets out air and you can push it back in, right? Now before these, I did use the Power Tank Monster Valve ones, and they are really good. The Monster Valve ones are. There is a drawback to them, which I'll address when I talk a little bit about this one and why I went this route instead. When I went from the 5 lugs, which I had a Monster Valve on, versus now that I'm on tons with the 8 lugs, I chose to go with Apex. So now let's talk about the new product that I saw come out, which is also by Apex, that I decided to put on to my CJ. I had a choice of putting those ones on, and I just didn't want to unseat the bead on the ones that I have. So these babies were the next answer. And these are supposed to pull the stem, put these on, and then these just pull out kind of like these ones do. Obviously it doesn't air down as fast. So the fun main portion of this is to compare the speed of one of those to these new Apex ones, so that way you can get them. These are hard to get right now too. See if I can get it to focus. Just because they're out of stock and they don't sell them, so next up you gotta wait till they're in stock. I kept refreshing my window to get it done, so I was able to score a set of these. These are what I'm planning on going to the CJ, pending like something ridiculous happening while I'm testing this, and these are terrible. But this is the plan. The nice thing is I don't have to pull them out. I don't have to remember where I put it. I don't have to deal with any of the other drama. I like those a lot. So I went with these. So the beauty of having 1, 2 of these is that I'm able to go ahead and test the air pressure while I'm on there. And I have, the one I mostly use when I'm airing up is a power tank one because it's a constant read. So the difference is this one will constantly change without having to push this button to reset it for it to reread the pressure. As it goes down, as it goes up, that needle moves. So it's real time, as close as you can get. So I'm gonna go ahead and obviously when I test this air down, I'll be on this valve stem. But because all the other ones are gonna be done on this stem, I'm gonna go ahead and leave this on there for all the different tests. And I'm gonna be going from 30 PSI down to 10. We are all set. We're at 30 PSI. Maybe just the tiniest scotch, depending on where the lens is lined up. A little over. And I'm going to start off with the first one that I got to air down with, which was this one. And these operate pretty simply. You thread this part, which all you do is by spinning this middle portion. And then once that's locked on, you'll use this back handle to unscrew, which is the middle part, the stem, and then you pull back and the air will shoot the stem into this tube area. And then it's simple. You just slide this back and the air will come out. Forward, it stops. And then you do that back and forth to check the PSI. But because I have a constant read, I'm going to go ahead and just let it rip. And this will be the fastest that it's able to go ahead and go on this. So let me go ahead and get this on here. Keep that timer alive. There we go. Okay, wiggle this to make sure, there we go, it gets around the stem. Pull the stem out. Starting to let out a little bit of air already, but nothing of note. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit start at the same time I pull back. This style is pretty fast, does a great job, and is relatively easy to use and not lose. But it is a little bit more complex. It has a few more steps than some of the air down methods that I'll show here later. So just kind of keep that in mind as you're picking away. I'm kind of deciding which one you want to do. And one thing to factor in, you have to do the same step at each tire, which is this times 4. All right, so I'll double check, but I think they're not going to be close enough to really worry. But that's 1 minute 58 seconds, almost 1 minute 59. And then when you're done, obviously you push that in, and then you'll take this, get it hooked onto your stem, and then just start screwing it back in. Once that's nice and good and tight on there, go ahead and pull back on that so it doesn't unscrew the stem. And then just unscrew this part. There you go. There's your 10 PSI in about 2 minutes. Let's air it up and let's give another one a shot. Back at 30 PSI. We're gonna go with the Terraflex Valera style. I'm not even gonna start this until this is all the way screwed on, although the air should be coming out as soon as I start screwing it on. There we go. Hit start. This style is probably the easiest to use, right? All you do is take off the cap and thread these bad boys on there and you're good to go. They are not as fast as the other methods, as you'll see at the end of this video, to kind of compare it, but there is a big difference that isn't always looked at. You can thread these things on all 4 of your tires versus the style we just did, where you're doing one at a time and kneeling down. So that was the main reason why I went to these is, look, I could screw these things on. It was a cheap way to try it. and I could put it on all 4 tires and still have time to go around, take care of other stuff on the Jeep while I was getting ready versus having to be there on the spot. So if you're going ahead and you have hubs to lock, or you have sway bars to disconnect, or if you're going to a place that you have to put up a flag, it was all good. And then you can just walk around and check with your air pressure thing over top of them. And if you end up, going a little long, they let out air so slowly that you're not going to end up with a flat tire. But these were definitely one that's an inexpensive situation that you can use, one that you can always keep as a backup, or one to loan out to a friend if they're airing down with you and haven't gone out before. Man, it got dark out here before this thing went. 9 minutes, 27 seconds. I'm gonna have to bring some light out here to finish up the other couple that we have to do. Well, we got lights galore all over now. So we are back up to 30. We're gonna go with the auto set ones. Let's go ahead and screw this baby on here. It'll let out a little bit, not a ton when you screw it on. All right, that's nice and tight. Set this on my leg for a second. Oh, we know we're not cheating. And then I'm gonna pull on this while I hit start, and we'll see how long she takes. Now these ones are probably the least headache for me personally. You'll see at the end of this one, a lot of people are concerned about it letting out too much air and how to trust it, different stuff like that. It depends on how you set it up, and I'm certain there's differences as far as quality of which ones you get. These ones work great. Now, they do take quite a bit longer than the first. I think they're about the same, maybe a little bit slower, the same as the second set, like the Terraflex. The difference and the reason why I got these is because I've been out in wind, I've been out in cold, and just threading these babies on while you sit back in your car and let it get warm until you're done hearing that hiss and you can open up the door real quick and listen. That made all the difference as to why I went with these. And it's the cheap version of like the Nomad wheel, right? The Nomads go way fast from Terraflex. I think Raceline actually makes them for Terraflex. But it's just a nice way to go ahead and get the auto set if you're not terribly worried about how quickly you go. And then when it's cold or issues like that, you don't have to deal with screwing in and out different things as much. It's just the one and done and you're good to go. So these are ones that I personally would still recommend, and give them a try. All right, I mean, that's dang close. It's barely off. About 9.5 minutes on that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use these original Apex ones that I have here that, let's get this light out of the way, that I'm keeping on the JKU, right? Love them, love them. Let's see how fast these babies go. Oh wait, it is getting cold out here. All right, so we're back at 30. Time up here. Oh, I gotta do it at the same time. All right, hold on. Let's see if we can dual coordinate this baby. Ugh. Feels like I have to crisscross my arms. All right, 21 seconds. Yeah, buddy. So that's fast, right? Pretty dang impressive. Let's go ahead. I'm going to install these. If you need to know how to install them, the little lottie-dottie, there you go. Anyways, I'm going to get one installed on this. This isn't the vehicle they're staying on, but all the weight's in the same spot. Nothing's moved. Temperature's dropped a little bit, but same incline, same rig, so there shouldn't be variation. Yeah, here we go. We have it all installed. We're ready to go. Cores removed. If you've never seen these, I don't know that I've ever paid attention. The little plunger just lifts it up in the back. So I'll be interested to see how this does. I don't know how much faster it'll be than the other ones. It's definitely a lot more expensive. So let's go ahead and get this test started. Hopefully it doesn't take the 8 or 9 minutes as the other ones did. I didn't really know what to expect with these new ones. Honestly, I didn't know if they're going to be like the screw-on ones or the auto set ones, and take 9.5 minutes. I had no idea what to think. But the fun thing is when you look at this, they are just as convenient. You can start on one, go around all 4 corners, and they're not so fast that you have to stay there without absolutely not turning your back on them. And these were awesome. Okay. Minute and 40 seconds. That's not bad. Now let's take a look at these and see comparatively, like stick out, stuff like that, to help you guys when you're making your decisions like I have to. So these cores, you can get a longer or shorter one. I think I got the regular one, is inside the rock ring. This baby is tightened all the way down, and it's about middle of the rock ring, so it does stick out a bit more. It doesn't stick out past, but the way I wheel, as you can tell, like I hit stuff and I rash it. I'll probably hit the end of these, depending on how. I think my other wheels might be more offset to get a little bit deeper in there, but all in all, not bad. Interested in what you guys think, but there you go. That's your comparative numbers. I don't know what the Monster valve would do. They're really fast, but hopefully this helps you guys in buying. If you like this stuff, let me know. Let's go ahead and go over my closing thoughts. I just got done editing this thing and wanted to look at the numbers again and kind of figure out what are my takeaways. Be interested in hearing yours, so please leave a comment, let me know what you think. But so I totaled it up. So all 4 corners, just time alone, so not time to set up or do anything like that. The ones that are already installed, my Apex ones that I have had in my JKU for a while, the total amount of time is 1 minute 25 seconds. Just letting out air, getting down to where it's at. Now, it'll take a little bit longer because I have to move around and unscrew the cap back on, but that's pretty close to what it'll take, and that's touching each of the 4. It takes a little bit more time to be bent over. It's cold out there, all that stuff's a little bit more headachy. The auto set ones, the Coyote ones, were 9 minutes and 34 seconds. Now, you could say that if you started them all at the same time, that's about what it would take. I'd give it another minute, right, to go around there and thread them all on there. So say it takes 10 minutes, 10.5 minutes to get all 4 done. So it takes quite a bit longer than the minute and just under 1.5 minutes of the Apex ones. Terraflex is going to be about the same. It came in a little bit lighter. So 934 were the auto set ones. 927 was the Terraflex / Viair ones that you just thread on there. And then the ones that you pull the plug on, so screw it on, the very first ones that I had, that was almost 1 minute 59 seconds. So if you total that up for going around all 4 corners, that's 7 minutes and 55 seconds. And those take quite a bit longer to thread on and off. And that's pretty close to the 10.5 minutes it would take to do all the other ones. You'd save a couple minutes for sure, but a lot more bending over. I'm 40. Getting older, don't want to do that. It's cold outside, whatever, right? So that's honestly my least favorite one. And then the new Apex, it took 1 minute and 40 seconds for one. So add another maybe minute going around. These are like in a sweet spot for me, right? So I'm not sure how to feel. When I start one, slowly walk over to the next one, slowly walk over to the next one. which you can kind of do because hitting all four corners, how long does it take to walk around? Maybe by the time I go ahead and start the fourth tire, I'm shutting the first, then shutting the second. So I'll be interested to try that out on trail and see. But you guys let me know. Is this something that you'd spend the money for? I think they were about $100 for all four. And I like them. We'll see what time it takes. Next time I change the tires, am I going to keep these or am I going to upgrade to the permanent ones? It'll be interesting. The one reason why I went away from the monster valve, just to give you a little bit of context, was one, when you unscrew it, sometimes the whole valve will spin. Now, that may be installer error, whatever it is. The second reason is when you're using the air up chuck, it's really nice, it's fast using CO2, but it's not a regular air chuck. And that makes a difference in case you lose it, misplace it. I wasn't using CO2, I have it, but the time it takes to fill it up, the cost, I'm running 40-inch tires. So all interesting. I really hope you guys found this video a little bit informative and found some use for it. Love to hear you guys' thoughts, but hope you guys are having a wonderful time, and we'll see you guys out on the trails.